So this is my first ever YouTube video. Hello, my name is Harmony. This is my first ever YouTube video. I was asked a lot while I was pregnant to make a YouTube video and answering like all these questions that people have. So I've already had the baby, but here I am. It's a bit late, but I'll do it now. So I will start with this one. How did you find out you were pregnant? I was training really hard at the gym this month. It was last year in September. And like from August to September I was training really hard at the gym. I was training like once in the morning. I was trying to like train a little bit when I got home. I was going to the gym a lot, trying to be like really consistent. I was eating healthy. I cut bread out of my diet because normally bread makes me really bloated, and I was always like, oh my god, after I ate bread I'd look at my stomach and I'd be like, oh my god, I already look pregnant. Like 8 months pregnant. I'm sure anyone that eats bread and reacts badly to bread, you just know, it makes you look like you're already 9 months pregnant. Anyways, so I was training hard, and normally like my body type, I see results from training really quickly, so my body reacts to training really fast. And I was like, why am I still looking so bloated? Like, and why do I still feel so tight? But it wasn't a normal bloating where you just feel bloated. It was kind of painful. And I was training with my cousin at the time, and I was like, dude, like I feel so tired or whatever, maybe I'm just not eating properly or I'm overdoing it. But I kept going anyway. I went to the gym one morning with my cousin and I was training on the treadmill, I think it is. And normally me and my cousin, we kind of stay on the same pace, or like we're both running and we're going hard out. And that morning I was so tired. I felt like so exhausted, like I hadn't slept in 10 years, had no energy. And I was like, oh my god, this is so weird. So I said to my cousin, I was like, look, I'm just gonna go easy today, whatever. Anyways, that morning, oh, it makes me so excited remembering this. Like, makes me feel like weird, but like excited. Anyways, I went back home that morning after I went to the gym, came home, and I had one pregnancy test in my top drawer in my room. Because, you know, you just kind of like keep them like, I don't know. Got the test out and I went into my bathroom, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, look, I'll do it. Every time that this has happened to me, it's always come back negative. So I was like, I was just expecting it to come back negative. Anyways, I took the test and I was 100% convinced it was going to come back negative. So I'm sitting there in my gym clothes, getting some of my work clothes ready so I can have a shower. Anyways, I walked out of the room, came back in, and there was a line there, and I was like, my heart just like dropped, and I was like, I was sitting there, I was tripping out hard. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh. I was like, maybe it's broken. I was like, I'll just walk out of the room. I'm gonna like go and like make my bed quickly, get my towel, and then I'm gonna come back in and the line's gonna be gone. So I went out of the room and I tried to make my bed, but I was so anxious. I was like, I left my doona on the floor and I was like, I'm gonna go check it now. So I went in there and I checked it, and the line was still there. The line wasn't going anywhere. And I was like, oh my god, there is a human inside of me. And I was like panicking. Like, you think that when this happens to you that your reaction is going to be like shocked and you're going to be crying and you're going to not know what to do. But I'm really surprised at what my reaction was. When I look back now, I really thought that I would react differently, but I literally didn't cry. I got into the shower and I was sitting in the shower. No, I wasn't sitting in the shower. I was standing up, and I'm just standing in the corner of the shower looking at the floor, like hyperventilating. I'm like, why can't I just cry? It would make me feel so much better if I could just like release a tear. But I couldn't release a tear, so I'm just looking at the floor like and that's all that happened there. And so anyways, I messaged my cousin and I told her. She was so excited and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? So anyways, that day I took another test on my lunch break. It came back positive as well. It was a digital one and that one came back positive, and that was when I kind of knew. I was like, oh my god, this is real. But it kind of like explained a lot of things to me as well. I wasn't shocked, only because I know it sounds weird, but me and my friends at work we've got these oracle cards at work. They're not tarot cards, they're just like little angel cards, whatever. And we used to play with them quite a bit. And for about 6 weeks or like a month, they kept coming back saying, there was 2 cards that I kept grabbing. No, there was 3. There was 2 different decks, and in one of them there was 2 child related cards. One of the decks there was only 1. Anyways, every time I did each oracle card deck, they would come back saying children and parenting was one of them. The other one was I forget what they were. I do remember the children and parenting one though, and it had like a picture of these babies on it, and the other one of them was a mum holding a baby on one of the cards. I just don't remember what they were called, but I was getting those and I was like, oh, these are a bit weird. I was like, and then my work friend would be saying to me, oh dude, maybe you're gonna fall pregnant, and I was like, yeah, that's hilarious. But I did end up falling pregnant. So if you're pulling oracle cards that are telling you you're gonna have a baby, be careful. Another question: how did you tell your husband that you were pregnant? I messaged him. He was on the way to English school in the city, and I just messaged him and I was like, I have something I need to tell you. And he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing's wrong. I was like, I just have something I need to tell you. And so I took a picture of the pregnancy test that morning when it happened, when I sent it to my cousin. And I just sent him that picture, but then I also sent him the picture of the test that I did at lunchtime, the digital one. And he was like, oh my god, like I'm pretty sure, I don't really remember exactly what happened, but I'm pretty sure he called me. He was on the train and he was like, oh my god, are you serious? And he was like, he could hear it in his voice. He was like kind of like stumbling on his words, and I was like, oh. Guys, he was so excited when he got home from work. He like came down into our room and he was all like excited and stuff, and it was really cute. Never forget. Oh, when I think about this, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Anyways, one of the other questions I will have a look. How did both of our immediate families react to finding out I was pregnant? His family, Marconi's family, was so excited. He FaceTimed them because, as anyone who follows me is probably aware, Marconi is from Brazil. So he FaceTimed his family and they were so excited, and they were like, congratulations, and like, they were just so excited. It's their first grandchild, so they were really excited. My family, I was so scared to tell, just because like I'm the first child, so, and I'm the only girl, and I was like, oh my god, my dad's gonna whoop my ass, and I was scared. But you know, it's so strange because another one of my cousins said to me, you know, like, don't be so scared of telling them. You'll think their reaction, you'll picture their reaction in your head as something entirely different just from being so anxious, and you'll be so surprised at what their actual reaction will be. So I was like, oh, okay. So my nan was like, Harmony, you can do this, your mom loves babies, and she was like, she was just making me feel better. And so I came home and I was bawling my eyes out in the car. I'm like, how am I going to do this? I was so scared. And I got home, and long story short, I told my mom. She was like, oh baby. She was happy. She was so happy. She was like, why are you crying for? Like, you're not sick, you're not dying. She was like, you're healthy, you're bringing a life into this world, you're having a baby. I was really scared to tell them, but everything ended up being perfectly okay. My mum was excited, my dad too. I worked myself up so much in my head thinking they were going to react badly, but they reacted so cute. But yeah, everything ended up being okay, which I was really happy about. What was another question? What was the biggest social struggle for you being pregnant so young? There wasn't really a massive social struggle for me because I was always pretty like my life didn't really consist of like going out a lot, going to the city, and like all the lifestyle that the other people my age have. I was always very gym, samba, dancing, come home, gym, like cooking. I'm a homebody. I'm like a little old lady, but in a young person's body. Yeah. I think the only thing now, like now that I've had the baby, I feel like it's more of a struggle now just because all of my friends and stuff are turning 21, and it's like trying to get someone to like that I trust to look after him, like which is my mom. The only person I'll let look after Phoenix is my mom. So trying to like balance that out. My two youngest brothers are special needs, so trying to like balance that out is a little bit hard. Otherwise, Phoenix comes with me and Marconi everywhere. We're going out to like lunch, cafe, dancing, wherever. Phoenix is with us, so I feel like I kind of have it pretty easy compared to some people. Some people I know struggle a lot, but I think I kind of, yeah. Anyways, next question. Did I eat or take anything special since I was vegan throughout my pregnancy? No, I didn't. I was just taking a normal prenatal vitamin. I've never really had any vitamin deficiencies. I was anemic in my past when I wasn't vegan, which I went vegetarian and then I went vegan, and when I went vegan it all cleared up because I was eating a lot of beans and fruit and stuff. I was eating pretty clean when I first went vegan, so it wasn't too much of a big issue for me. When I was pregnant I became iron deficient, but that went away quickly with the prenatal. Prenatals are really high in iron because pregnancy sucks the life out of you. It really sucks the life out of you. Best way I can describe it is Bella from Twilight when she falls pregnant with Edward's vampire baby. That's what I felt like when I was pregnant, but more fat. Another question was, any tips for labouring pain? Breathe. That's the only one that I can possibly think of that is helpful. Breathe. There is nothing else that I can say that will make it any better. It's painful, but because you're built for it, it's a natural pain. You're designed to experience that pain, so it makes it like you can get through it because of that reason. So breathe. Go on Google and type in labouring quotes, like quotes for labour. I forget what they're called. Birth affirmation quotes. They helped me a lot. I used them a lot in early labour when I was still semi-coherent. I used them, but other than that, just breathe. I had the epidural. I was doped up on the gas. That gas is good shit. If you want anything in the labour room and you're not all about all natural, I was about all natural, but just didn't work out for me. But the gas, oh the pain. Breathe. Another question. What was the hardest part about the pregnancy? The hardest part about my pregnancy was definitely the morning sickness. My morning sickness was not morning sickness. I don't know why they call it that. It was all day sickness. So I was struggling. I was vomiting my ass up all day, every day. Work was a struggle. Like socializing was a struggle. People kept wanting to see me because I was pregnant, and I could not be around anything that smelled like food. My sense of smell was so strong. I could smell everything, and trust me, you don't want to be able to smell everything. Horrible. Another really hard part besides the sickness was the wait up until an ultrasound. That was a really big struggle for me, just because I was so scared about the baby being okay. I was so scared. I was always praying and praying that everything was going to be okay, my baby was healthy and that he was growing and that everything was just going to be okay. Especially at there's a 12-week scans called the nuchal translucency scan, and I was so scared. I was like crying, thinking that like something was going to be wrong with my baby, and I was so scared, but everything ends up being okay. So if you're out there and you're watching this and you're pregnant and you're scared about your ultrasounds, I guarantee you everything's going to be okay. Like, I was so scared as well, and everything was okay. So was I scared or anxious when I found out? Yes, I was, and I kind of answered that when my reaction when I found out. So scared, anxious, but I was excited. I got over it. I was like, yeah, okay. Next question. Did I have any complications during my pregnancy? No, I didn't have any complications. Oh, I had sciatica, so like a bad back. It was kind of like a pinched nerve in my back. I was really sick, and I had complications during my labour, but I wouldn't say I had complications during my pregnancy. I think I was pretty lucky there, besides the need to vomit every 5 minutes. How long did it take for me to notice my baby bump? I really started to pop at maybe around 24 weeks. By 28 weeks I had like a little baby bump, but it was never huge until my 3rd trimester. Like, if you were following me on Instagram and you saw that, I literally went from like nothing to like the biggest belly ever, and oh, but yeah, I didn't really start popping until around 24, 25 weeks. If you go back down on my Instagram, you'll see I updated kind of every week that I was pregnant. Well, I tried to anyway, but if you go all the way down, there's one from when I was 24 weeks, and it was like I still kind of looked bloated. Hardest part about being pregnant was not being able to exercise, dance or train. Otherwise everything else was pretty okay. Another question was the best and the worst parts. The best parts definitely outweigh the bad parts. So like feeling baby mood, hearing baby's heartbeat for the first time, seeing your belly grow every week. The worst parts, yeah, the sickness and just the negative side effects that you hear about. A lot of women don't experience them, but a lot of women do, and it can be quite isolating when they're very severe. So, but it's worth it in the end. You get like your little human. It's worth it. I know it's so cliche, but it is. It is worth it. I mean, yeah. That's pretty much majority of the questions. The majority of the questions that I got asked were what was my reaction when I found out. I hope that I covered everything. So yeah, if you do have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram. I will try to respond to them as quickly as I can. I will put my Instagram username down below for you guys to go see my pregnancy week by week. So like when I started popping, I did document my whole pregnancy, so the changes and stuff, how tired I was and how I was feeling as everything progressed. I documented as much as I could. I've also got a pregnancy week by week highlight on my Instagram as well, so if you wanted to check that out. I'm sorry if this video was really long and if I'm really awkward, but it's my first video and it's really weird talking to a camera. I don't know how people do this. I'll probably get better. But anyways, I hope everyone has a really good day and rest of the week, and I will see you all next time. Well, I won't see you all next time. I'll see the camera next time, but yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.